What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, so sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But in today's Division 2 video, we are going to be talking about Descent, because every week we have a new Descent project that gives us new collectibles, and in today's video, we're going to go over all of those collectibles up until today, meaning week 9. So we are only able to talk about the first 9 collectibles that are available during this season of Year 5 Season 1. So, what exactly am I talking about? Well, every week, if you go over to your projects, you have a weekly Descent project. And every week, this Descent project will tell you to defeat the Nemesis and you will receive a collectible. Now, we are currently in week 9 of this season, and therefore, if I go to my collectibles, go to progression, go to collectibles, and then go to comms, and then it is in alphabetical order, so you can go down here to Descent. And you can see that there are currently 9 collectibles available for Descent, and we have all 9. So here we are. We're going to go through all of these. We're going to explain what's going on with this timeline and how it connects everything. Now, just so you know, before we get started, we are all aware of the NSA station, right? We are all aware that the Descent game mode is a part of the NSA research labs. It is a simulation system and area for the NSA. Now, just a reminder, Calvin McManus was the, I believe, the Secretary of Defense for, the U.S. government during the Division 2. And because of that, he was actually in charge of the NSA, Homeland Security, and all of that prior to the dollar flu and the outbreak and everything. Now, we know all of that now, but back then we had no idea who Calvin McManus was. Now, in previous manhunts, we got to learn more about Calvin McManus. First, they were calling him Cal. We didn't know who he was. Then we finally found out that he's the one that controls the hunters and the rogue agents. So, giving you a little bit of backstory on that. Let's see, what else with our storyline before we get started? Oh, Natalia. So everyone knows that during these manhunts now, we have Natalia Sokolova. And even during the current season with these manhunts, we are rescuing these targets from Natalia Sokolova. Now, just to give you more of a background from her, she is running the Black Tusk, and she is pretty evil as evil goes. But all right, so we've talked about Calvin McManus. We've talked about Natalia Sokolova. So I guess the only thing now is I'll give you a little refresher on Descent, and then we'll talk about the collectibles. So here we go. Now, this is the Descent trailer from Ubisoft, and you saw it just popped up. It said Ortiz Robotics. And then it puts us in the simulation NSA bunker style arena where we have to go through room to room, clearing all the enemies, getting stronger, getting our talents, our builds together to find the Nemesis. Now, with that being said, the only storyline we know is that Calvin McManus ran the NSA back in the day. We know that Ortiz Robotics ran this Descent simulation, or whatever you want to call this. And we know that Natalia Sokolova is in charge of all the manhunts and what is going on right now. So let's jump right back. Okie dokie. So we know everything that, we need to know leading up until this point. So progression, go to your collectibles, go down to comms, down to Descent, and here we go. Collectible number 1.
Ned,
Cal,
how's the family?
Felix got into medical school.
You're paying, of course.
Of course.
Well, I know our pockets aren't as deep as yours. Hopefully you'll play nice in the bidding war today.
Oh, Cal, I I don't want to start a war with you. We're not interested in a bidding war. We've set the price. Either you can pay it, or you can't.
What Claire means to say is this technology is not exclusive. Everything you see today will be available for your organization with top-of-the-line security to ensure that your data stays secure, remotely accessible, and permanently backed up on a private apocalypse-proof server at one of our bases in North Dakota or Alaska. Alaska?
Isolated and cold. Easier and cheaper to maintain security and temperature control of the servers. I assume you're underground and using geothermal cooling? That's correct, Ms. Sokolova. Nat, please.
All right. So that was our first recording. We have Calvin McManus, Natalia Sokolova, talking about the new technology coming out of Ortiz Robotics. Now, the Ortiz Robotics founders, it's husband and wife Claire and Alexander Ortiz. Now, this new technology they are, pushing across the market. Obviously, Calvin McManus, being a part of the U.S. government, has them contracted for this new technology. And it sounds like Natalia Sokolova is taking her third-party contractor, company and is being a player in this as well. Now, this sounds like this is all beforehand, so we don't know about the Black Tusk or any of that yet. So let's move on to the next one. Now, this is collectible number 2, and it is called Updates. The co-founders of Ortiz Robotics discuss the logistics of implementing updates to the system. Here we go.
Cal wants us to update all 3 systems on his watch.
Why?
Someone said the color cycling made him look like a disco ball.
Was it Vic or Natalia?
Does it matter?
Yes. Because if this is about function or ego, I have different solutions.
Function. He doesn't need help with his ego.
We can have all 3 accessible through a single interface, but it could create security issues. A backdoor into the systems that would make it much easier to hack as long as you have legitimate access to one of the systems. You could get into the other 2.
Is that a bug or a feature?
Depends on how clandestine and classified you want your organization to actually be in practice.
The watches are inert until Isaac is activated, right?
More or less. Until you're activated and we maintain activation, it's just a watch.
A very smart watch.
Yeah, but without activation and the brick, it's just a watch that someday may alert you to get off your ass and get to work.
So until activation, there really isn't a threat.
Not to security. But they are passive. They are recording everything, all the time, and filling the databases. If he wants his analysts to be able to access all that intel and data, then feeding all 3 into the same repository could be beneficial. But it's definitely not secure.
And what about the other databases?
Like Diamond?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's all built on the same tech. If he wanted a backdoor into their operations to monitor them, it's just a matter of giving him access to their database.
How hard would that be to hook up?
It's 1 server and 1 update, 5 minutes. But it would put our other contracts in danger if they ever found out.
How would they find out?
The same way Cal would find out. They would all have access to the same backdoor. If they are all from the same root, it's just a matter of finding the right file. It's all there, but if someone gets bored or goes looking, they can find anything they want. If they've got the skills and patience to weed through the garbage first.
Now that just took a turn. Okay. So Ortiz Robotics are supplying the tech for Isac. And remember, Isac is the AI that is implemented in our SHD tech. That's usually the AI you hear the entire time you're playing the game. And then they were talking about Diamond. Now, Diamond is a Black Tusk insignia, and that goes towards the Natalia Sokolova thing. So check this out. If you go to your apparel and you go to your patches, right, there's some patches that are Black Tusk. Let me see. I know there's one for hardcore right. So many patches. There it is, right there. So for the hardcore tidal basin patch, you can see the diamond right there in the middle. That is the black tusk symbol. That is the black tusk insignia. And in fact, they have the bricks just like we do. So if you see my character on the left side of the screen, right? You can see that he has his hand out looking at his watch. Then he has his patch, but on his shoulder, you see where the other division circle is, that little insignia, that light up. That is the brick, all right? That is connected to your watch. Now, the black tusk and white tusk have the same type of deal. When they're doing their drones or when they're doing the controllers are moving those Wally bots or anything, you will see them touch their wrist. But the black tusk also have the brick on their shoulder that has that diamond black tusk symbol and insignia. Just like we have our Isaac and our little shade tech, circle insignia, the black tusk have the diamond insignia. So that's where I see that one going. That one's pretty easy to spot out. So collectibles, comms, and descent. There we go. All right. Now it said that Calvin McManus was sick of all three of them going off on his watch, and they would change colors, and that people were saying it looks like a disco ball. Now, that is probably referring to the tech that we have in Descent. Because remember, Descent has a different tech than we do as, division agents. And it is both different from what the Black Tusk have. So that's probably our third source. Because remember that when you change your levels, when you gain levels, your shade watch will change colors and it'll light up. I don't know if you knew that, but every time you gain a level in this game, your watch will light up and it'll light up a random color. Sometimes it'll be blue, sometimes it'll be red, orange, yellow, green. Now in Descent, it is only green. So I don't know. Let's go to the third one because it sounds like Calvin McManus has access to all three of them on his watch, and he's trying to make them combined. And if he does that, that means he has access to all of our AI systems, which is interesting because that's the same type of technology that Aaron Keener had during Liberty Island, remember? Because he was able to mess up all of our skills. He was able to, what is it, hack our skills. And which is funny because that's the same sort of technology and method that the hunters use. And Calvin McManus was running the hunters. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so number 3, this one is called Contracts. Calvin McManus and Natalia Sokolova are discussing terms with Ortiz Robotics. Here we go.
I'd really like to see the new prototypes when you have them ready. Until then, it's a pass for me.
That's too bad, Nat. I really think you'd benefit from getting in on this early. Be able to shape the R&D.
She's right. It's not a good fit. Besides, I'm not really comfortable working with private organizations with practically no public profile beyond Sokolov concern. I can't imagine your entire business is built around tactical knee pads. I value discretion, Mrs. Ortiz. And I am sure you can appreciate that it's not wise for a woman in this industry to lay all her cards on the table until she is ready to play them. I can. If you're concerned about the data, we can build a private server with biometric security. Only people you've personally vetted would have clearance to access or amend your services.
That's excellent to know. Alexander, please do get in touch for a demonstration once you get the interface down to a single component.
The prototype should be ready in a couple of months.
Excellent. Well, I'll let you finalize this deal. Cal, see you at the benefit later.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now, Alex, tell me, where do I sign?
Okay. So clearly this is before the outbreak. This is before Division. This is before Black Tusk. This is the origin, right? Because they are signing their contracts with the Ortiz Robotics company for this tech. And Natalia is already showing concerns that she doesn't want the other two AI systems to be able to go into her diamond system. Now, obviously, they know nothing about her dealings with the Black Tusk or anything at all with that, because Claire Ortiz was just asking, I'm sure it's not just based off of your knee pads, referring to the Sokolov Concern brand set that we have in the game. Pretty funny. But this shows that this is all prior to the outbreak, prior to the division, and they are just now starting to get their hands on this technology. All right, let's keep going. I want to know more about the green one for Descent. All right, here we go.
I think you are really going to like this. For the rural agent, or in the unlikely event that the global or national network goes down, may we present the mobile shade server.
It looks like a briefcase.
Exactly.
That is a briefcase.
No, it's a mobile shade server.
Then why does it look like a briefcase?
Because you were right. Your agents are supposed to be hidden in plain sight, and it would be really hard to justify a warhound in someone's garage, but a briefcase, that's easily concealed and innocuous.
You spend much time in the rural parts of the country?
Can't say that I do.
You think an agent on a tractor with a leather-bound briefcase with a big Phoenix medallion isn't conspicuous? God help me.
Well, when you put it like that...
Make it metallic and lose the insignia. You can put the logo on the screen, but the outside should be blank.
That's excellent feedback, Cal.
Whoa, okay. Now that is the introduction to our mobile shade servers, and I like the little nod to the Middle American, with the tractors. That is exactly what we've seen from Division Heartland, so that's pretty cool that they mentioned that. The mobile shade servers is another thing that we've seen in the trailers and the teasers for the Division Heartland, so that's cool. That's another nice little nod to that. Another thing is, isn't there I think there's one right here, right? Because he said it just looked like a briefcase, and when you open it up, you want to see the insignia. I mean, this is one of those mobile Ortiz laptops. Anyways, this is just an example. This is a NSA station. And then remember, you can buy all of your upgrades there, and you get to keep them for the rest of the season, but they will reset after that season. Okay, so that was... What number was that? So let's go to Collectibles, Comms, Descent. That was number 4 with Mobile Prototype. So Calvin McManus said, hey man, don't make it look like a leather briefcase with a huge-ass phoenix on the outside. Change it, make it metallic, just make it look like a normal briefcase, but when you open it up, make the insignia inside on the screen. Boom. And yeah, that was good feedback. All right, next one. This is number 5, and it is called Ordered. Calvin McManus places an order. Here we go.
If your mobile shade server works half as well in the field as it does in the simulation, this could be a game changer.
We're glad you agree.
Does Nat know about this?
No, this is a failsafe for your agents only.
Good. Good.
There may come a time when you need to cut off her access to the network, and until you can isolate your access, this is an insurance policy against a potential coup.
You're a true patriot.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm sure Nat would be willing to pay top dollar for something like this.
I'm sure she would. But some things are too dangerous to give to the highest bidder. Some things should only belong to the people.
Uh-huh. Okay. Interesting. I mean, with her saying that, meaning, the government and our military, the people, just trying to separate the normal corporate from the contractor side of things. Interesting. Now they're trying to make it to where she can't access their servers, and she wants a failsafe and insurance that they can't access hers. So that is what was cutting off the Black Tusk from everything else that was going on with the division. Now it's funny because now in today's time for Division 2 Year 5, Calvin and Natalia are working together. So that is kind of crazy that this whole time they were trying to make sure each other couldn't do anything with the other, and now they're actually working together. That's pretty funny. Now, another thing that Calvin mentioned in there was that if it worked half as good in this simulation that it does, if it worked half as good in the open world that it did in the simulation, that he's a happy man. And they're obviously referring to Descent, where you have those little mobile servers. They're on the wall, and you can access, all your different talents and everything. And then there's also those little NSA computer stations where you can get your ammo, restock on other sort of materials, and get special ammo. You know the whole spiel. I just showed you that computer. So this is just following up with that the Ortiz Robotics Company made all of this, and that one half of it went to the government, the other half went to the contractors. Now, here is collectible number 6, security. Now, it says Calvin McManus asked for a few amendments to the system for security purposes. Here we go.
Now, I have big plans for this system of yours.
That's excellent, Cal.
If I wanted to utilize your system for 3 organizations, would I need to wear 3 of those watches and 3 of those bricks, or could you put all 3 on a single unit for me?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm looking at your technology, and I see other organizations who could benefit from these tools. The NSA is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to intelligence and security. I have other, more obscure teams at my disposal who could utilize this technology. It would increase my order tenfold and give you and the missus plenty of seed money to play around with.
More private contractors?
Not at all. Homeland Security. Strictly homeland and governmental entities.
And they all fall under your purview?
Of course. I am the secretary.
If you're looking for a more discrete single unit, we could house all 3 on a single system, and you decide which system you want to access through the interface.
Can you get rid of the brick for me?
For just you, or for you and all the field agents?
Just me. I think it's helpful to have the identification on the back. The wrist can be a little hard to see, but that beacon of hope in the dark illuminating your face, there's something heroic about that.
That was a creepy laugh at the end. Okay. So that just that just explained the Hunter's technology. Because the Hunters don't have the brick on the shoulder. They don't have anything except for the watches. But they're able to access all of our technology. Meaning they can hack all of our skills. They can disrupt all of our systems. So it sounds like right there was the origin of their technology, because Calvin McManus made it for himself. Now, it's funny because he was saying about his other obscure, quiet teams that he has at his disposal. And obviously it points the finger to the Hunters. But man, this is like just scratching just a little bit of one collectible and then maybe trying to link it to the Hunters. I mean, I really wish we had something definitive like Hunters. I don't know, but that's just me personally. But let's keep going. This is getting very juicy. I like where this is going. That was number 6. So number 7 is Isac. The co-founders of Ortiz Robotics discuss the new voice of the AI system. Here we go.
detected. Hostile eliminated. Hostile detected. Hostile eliminated. What do you think?
I think this is a waste of time.
It's just for the field test. I promise, if the results come back and they prefer Anna, we can delete Isaac.
If we were just going to delete it all, I don't see the point in wasting time building an entirely separate AI. We could be investing this time in refining Anna instead of building a superfluous backup.
They've requested a more impersonal AI for the field test.
Did they request it, or did you ask them to request it?
You know how they are.
Fine, but Isaac is not going to be as smart or independent as Anna. I don't have time to do all that reprogramming and recording. He will have to be very binary in his morality. If you're fine with an AI that doesn't get nuance, I'll add him as an option.
I think the users will feel more comfortable with a less human-sounding AI. Anna can be a little much.
You're a little much.
I don't like how human she is sometimes.
Hostile detected. Recommendation: eliminate or sedate. She's hilarious, and she gives you choices. You're telling me you would rather have direct orders from an AI than operational choice?
I'm telling you, I don't think people are ready for an AI that can pass the Turing test.
Okay. So there's our third AI right there. And that seems to be their very first AI that they made, being Ortiz Robotics. Because remember, Anna, that was the AI with the voice of Claire Ortiz. And that seems to be their very first AI that is very human-like, will give you different options, and will answer you with emotions. So Isaac seems to be the watered down version of Anna, and that's the one that they want to give to the military and the Homeland Defense and all that. And that seems to be the one that, we as division agents received as well. So that seems to be our three AIs. So would Anna be the one working Descent? That couldn't be right. Because when you're in Descent, it's a different voice. Remember? Console activated. You know what I mean? It's not Anna or whatever. And it's not Isaac either. It's its own voice. So where's Anna coming from? Maybe Anna is just the co-founder's personal AI, and Isaac is the AI that Calvin McManus has. I'm trying to figure out what the correlation between the three, because Calvin McManus said he had all three. So I mean, it's a little confusing because it's pulling you in a few different directions, from face value, but we could obviously speculate in a few different ways. But let's continue. Let's see. So that was number 7. We only have 2 more. Next one is Alert. An NSA analyst reaches out to Calvin McManus to alert him about a new threat. All right, here we go.
Sir, I wanted to follow up about that professor in New York.
What professor?
Amherst. His student was trying to seduce him.
So, did he sleep with her?
No, sir.
So your update is there is no update.
Not exactly.
I don't care about some college professor. Is there a problem with the Isaac system?
No, the comms are still coming in. There's still too much data to sort through, but I think we might want to take a closer look at this professor.
Is he sleeping with a different student?
No, sir. He's been giving lectures about viruses resetting the world to curb climate change.
So, kook.
Or dangerous expert in virology who could help nature along.
Ooh, okay. Now this just took a turn. Okay. That's the origin of the Division 1. Amherst, he's the professor that developed the dollar flu virus. And the dollar flu virus is what started this whole thing. So the NSA was tracking him via Isaac. It's very interesting. So everything leading up to this point was prior to the Division 1. And then right here, boom, at alert. This is probably like right before the Division 1. Okay, interesting. So now we're into Amherst and the dollar flu. So everyone has their AI systems, everything's working as advertised, and here we go. So the last one that we have for this week is called New Tech. This is Calvin McManus and Natalia Sokolova discuss the new technology with an independent expert, Matthias Schneider. Okay. All right, here we go. New tech.
Honest opinion, Matthias.
It's ambitious. The surveillance technology and capabilities are a clear advantage for both the NSA and the Black Tusk.
Any downsides?
Honestly, I don't know how secure their network is. It would be very easy for them to cut corners and have everything funnel into a central repository. Without doing an on-site appraisal of their servers and security, I would expect other users on the same network could access your comms and intel.
That's very helpful.
I aim to please.
We should speak more after this.
Personal or professional?
Professional.
What's your favorite geometric shape?
A diamond.
Interesting. You know you can tell a lot about a person by their favorite shape.
What's yours?
Technically, it's a plane curve.
Parabola?
Yeah, that's... You're not what I expected, Miss Sokolova.
Miss Sokolova. Okay, so that was obviously Trig from the, what was that, the General Anderson manhunt. He was one of the manhunt targets where everything had to deal with shapes and just overall geometry. Pretty cool. As far as... Well, let's listen to that one more time. This one,
Honest opinion, Matthias.
It's ambitious. The surveillance technology and capabilities are a clear advantage for both the NSA and the Black Tusk.
Any downsides?
Honestly, I don't know how secure their network is. It would be very easy for them to cut corners and have everything funnel into a central repository. Without doing an on-site appraisal of their servers and security, I would expect other users on the same network could access your comms and intel.
That's very helpful.
I aim to please.
We should speak more after
Okay.
this.
Personal or professional?
Professional.
What's your favorite geometric shape?
so that's pretty wicked. Okay. So what all is going on with Descent? Well, Descent is a NSA research lab simulation bunker. And they went down there to test out different simulations for their mobile shade servers, for their different AI systems, and incorporating, these different talents that we see today with our builds. Okay, cool. But that was all before the division even happened. So then we had some insight on how Natalia got the tech for the Black Tusk. We also have insight on how the hunters are able to mess with not only us, but the Black Tusk as well. And with Natalia working with Calvin McManus and making some of her Black Tusk operatives hunters, all she's doing is giving them the hunter technology and then letting them go wild with it. So that is pretty interesting. I do believe we have 5 more slots available. So I'll be able to do like short weekly updates on each of these collectibles as they come out from here moving forward. It was a bit of time for me to catch up on these collectibles because I did miss a week, prior, but I was able to get that collectible about a week or 2 ago. So now that I'm caught up, and now that every one of you are caught up with the lore and the story revolving around Descent and the overall background with not only Natalia but Calvin McManus, we're going to be able to do like a weekly update about this ongoing story. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. A lot of that was juicy. I wasn't expecting it to go from the AI system straight to Amherst, so that was kind of a cool little switch there. But I am interested to figuring out more about Anna because we haven't. I man, was it Theo Parnell? I, I want to say it was during the tombs. I'm gonna have to figure that one out and see if I can give you guys an update whenever we do the next collectible, whenever the weekly reset happens. But have a good weekend, everyone. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm going to show you a Nemesis speed run challenge later today, and I hope you enjoy. So stay tuned for that. I am Kamikazevondoom. Hit the like, subscribe. You know the whole YouTube spiel. It really does help me out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good weekend. Peace out.